90s, a decade in transition, exclusively on the Monitor Channel.
In addition to the destruction and the death they have caused, the volcanoes erupting in the Philippines and in Japan this month have also offered scientists a very rare opportunity to learn much more about them.
And because volcanoes are so rare, it's not unusual to find scientists coming from all over the world to observe a volcanic eruption. Many scientists who have been observing these land volcanoes would also love to see what's going on under the sea. Well, as the Monitor's Dan Wood tells us, explorers are probing deep-sea secrets. Farouk El-Baz is of Boston University. He is a geologist and a volcano expert. And we are talking about undersea volcanoes. This is what Dan is writing about. These are out in the Pacific Ocean. This particular expedition was about 500 miles southwest of Acapulco, Mexico. Tell us a little bit about this area of the ocean floor.
The area in this region is a rise within the ocean floor. And it's along one of these mid-oceanic ridges. The mid-oceanic ridge is one that actually connects the snakes in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and then goes into the Atlantic Ocean. And this is a place on Earth, perhaps the only place, where new land is being formed constantly. New crust is being formed. It is a matter of spreading. We call it the seafloor spreading, where the seafloor is actually increasing constantly by volcanic eruptions. But the most interesting thing about this event is the fact that volcanologists were there at the time when the eruption occurred underwater.
Exactly, and this is something that they've known about the area, but they've never quite timed it right to be there when this activity was going on.
First, we know that there has always been volcanic eruptions in the, beneath the ocean. We've never observed them before. And we also know the extent of this, the result of these volcanic eruptions, but we never really saw the process. And this group is very lucky, number one, to be in the right place at the right time, but also to have the diving equipment to allow them to go down, because they were over 1.5 miles beneath the ocean surface. And that's the thing that really allowed them to see it close by.
What are these eruptions like compared to the land volcanoes that we see?
It's a very interesting thing that the air behaves very much like water when you squirt something into it. So the actual spreading of the volcanic ash and so on, almost exactly in the same way as if it is on land, but it's a matter of how much does it spread further out, because water is a little denser than air. And so that there is a difference between the two. There are all kinds of similarities, but there are distinct differences.
They were talking, too, about the hot water that was coming out, and they were taking some temperature readings, amazing, up to 400 degrees Celsius.
That's right. That would be vapor if it is on land, because it's an incredibly hot temperature. We have never really measured any temperature like that before. No other scientific team has been able to measure the temperature that hot. And apparently it was that hot because the water was right on top of the magma as it came in. The lava was incredibly hot, so it does not have enough time to cool, and therefore warms the water that much.
And it obviously then doesn't spread as far as it would on land, because it is being cooled by the water to a certain extent.
First, you have the pressure of the water keeping that the temperature in the area where it is, and then you have the gradual change of temperature would take a long time for that temperature to dissipate.
What is the long-term benefit to come out of this fortuitous event, these people being there while the eruption's going on?
It is really basically the fact that we know now the way volcanic eruptions occur, and we can have actual pictures, and we can have samples, and we know the conditions and the temperature and things like that. So we can now begin to think about volcanic eruptions underneath the oceans, very much the way we look at them on land.
Is there aquatic life in and around these volcanoes in this ridge, or do the volcanoes kill everything?
No, there is actually life around, and also even at these kinds of temperature, very much like we have aquatic life in the cold areas, there are aquatic life in the very hot areas.
Professor El-Baz, thank you very much.
Thank you.
80% of volcanic activity on this planet occurs underwater, so that is a fascinating story. Well, it's the season for